Shut up and sit down.
Hey everybody, welcome to the KF Podcast, this special YouTube edition here today. Thank you for listening. If you just stumbled across us, check us out at kfpodcast.com, the KF Podcast on all your social media places, and over on SoundCloud and iTunes and all that. We do the Pop Culture Week in Review. Go listen to us every Friday. It comes out Thursday this week, well, or whatever this comes out. Yeah. And listen to some nonsense for an hour. It's a good time. But today, we have Justin via satellite.
Hello.
We have no Ken, but we have Brock here.
Hi.
And Brock, if you don't know, has a little company called Next Dimension Wrestling, which deals in the game of, I'm going to get this wrong.
You can do it.
This is
not Guardians, but Champions.
Champions of the Galaxy,
Yes.
which is a card game. He's been a fan of this for a long time. We've talked about Champions of the Galaxy on YouTube here before, but he has a big weekend coming up here, so we're going to kick it over to him. He's got some new stuff to show us, so we're going to show you images here on screen, and we're going to talk all about it. So take it away, bro.
All right, everyone. If you're still around, thank you. If we bored you to death already, sorry.
No, they're still here.
All right, good.
Perry, at least.
Yeah, thank you, Perry.
Yeah, thanks, Perry.
So this time of year is Galacticon season. It's usually the second weekend in July.
Okay.
It's been moving around a lot the past several years. It used to always be in Jamestown, New York. Last year was in the Pittsburgh area. This year they're going back to Philadelphia.
And for people who don't know, what is Galacticon?
Galacticon is the official convention of Filsinger Games where they get together and the new game editions are released officially. The new Champions of the Galaxy edition, because each year represents another year in the timeline.
Okay.
So this year's edition is for 2135.
Okay.
So another year has passed.
Okay.
And the NDW edition for this year is also taking place in 2135. I actually jumped it up a little bit to catch up with the Filsinger Games mythos.
It's like Avengers Endgame. Just skipping into
just a little bit. You know.
Just skipping ahead.
It never really had like a set start time.
Yeah.
For NDW, it just kind of was there.
So it could be whatever.
So, yeah, it's set in the, a little over 100 years into the future.
Okay.
So it's got some sci-fi elements, all that fun stuff.
And you've been creating characters in this for a long time.
For 20 years now.
Now, we all on the show here, if you look on, like, especially on our YouTube channel, the pictures above the screen here, that's all of us done by Brock's friend, Warner
Meek,
who does the art here. He's incredible. But Justin has a card. Brock's always had a card.
Yeah, but Warner didn't draw me. Sarah Kippen drew me.
Yeah, that's right. Sarah Kippen drew you. Hi, Sarah, if you're out there.
She works for Nickelodeon, though.
But Warner drew Ken.
And he drew you.
And I have 2 cards. Haha, 2 cards.
I need to make a new Dawn card.
Why, another one?
A third one, the Meddler.
I'd love it. They'll just make Ken mad that I have 3 cards.
That's why I kind of want to do it.
Keep getting cards. That's all. But yeah, his artwork's great, and the cards are great. I mean, they are spot on, like, our likenesses. Then the moves back match, like, stuff that we do. They're fantastic. Like, get a card made about yourself one day, because it is so cool. I have mine blown up into a big portrait edition.
I saw Rob had his in a shadow box.
Yeah.
His wife posted it on.
Rob has 2 cards recently, him and his son. I mean, they're just great. They look so great.
It's fun. It's nice. Like, if I'm looking for, like, a gift for somebody, like, when we get to Gretchen, I didn't know what to get her for her birthday, so I'm like, I just have Warner draw her as a Champions of the Galaxy character.
It's fantastic. So what do you got for us here?
So this year's game edition from NDW is Generations 2135. The Generations title comes from the main character of the set, which is Robert Hager Knight.
Okay.
Who is the son of legendary Troy Boy.
Okay.
Who was created by my father back in the early 90s.
That's right.
Back then, in the stories he would write for Troy Boy, he had a son that tagged along with him.
Okay.
So now, enough time has passed that this is his son grown up.
Where do you get the name from?
Well, the whole story is, my dad was a very creative guy. Like, when he was doing wrestling characters, like, the entire family was involved. Okay. So Troy Boy is a second-generation wrestler. His father is the Last Knight, who is a half owner of Next Dimension Wrestling.
Okay.
The last night's rival in wrestling was a guy named Black and Blue Bob Hager, who is now the co-owner of this federation.
Okay.
Troy Boy had an affair with Bob Hager's wife and sired the son.
Nice.
Unbeknownst to Bob Hager, he raised the son as his own for 8 years until him and his wife split, and then that's when she revealed that he wasn't the father of this child.
Okay.
So that's why he's named Robert.
All right.
So
I like it. That's good.
So now, like, in the way that my dad wrote him back in the day, like, you know, like they had a reality TV show set in their house, so he was always like in the public eye and stuff. So now he kind of resents his father for that because he didn't get a childhood.
Okay.
So he's now siding with his adoptive father, I guess you could say.
Okay.
To be a pain in his grandfather's behind.
Nice. I like it. Cool.
So he was the big main guy in this set.
He's the main guy. Now, we're showing these on screen. You won't want me to show the moves.
You can if you want.
You don't want anybody copying. We can black them out if you want.
Well, let's show the front of the card art.
Okay.
This character is Hot Pink.
Hot Pink. She's next on your screen.
She was drawn by Chris Adamits.
Okay. Shout out to Chris.
Yes. She's part of the Hager Soldiers with the team of Jet Black and Navy Blue. They're all military-type people.
Yeah.
Former military. She's from the Coast Guard. Mm-hmm. She was reluctant to her gimmick at first because she thought the hot pink gimmick was offensive to women. Like, why does the girl have to wear pink?
Have to wear pink.
But then after she started to embrace it and saw the attention she was getting, she realized, hey, I am hot. I can be hot pink. So.
Nice. And she's wearing kind of like, is that like a Return of the Jedi type mask?
Kind of. It's kind of like Power Rangers meets Stormtroopers.
It meets Atlantis.
Well, that's the whole Coast Guard thing.
I like her.
So that's hot pink.
All right.
And then we have another one drawn by Chris. He's a last-minute substitution.
Okay.
We're going to do another military character called Hunter Green. The artwork never kind of got together, so we had this character in the tank already, so... In the story, we had Hunter Green be attacked by an unknown assailant. Mm-hmm. So in a last-minute effort to sign somebody to his team, Bob Hager chose Leon Volador there.
Okay. Who came up with this guy? You?
Chris actually did that as part of a project he was doing with the kids.
Okay.
They had to create their own superhero. I thought the artwork was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So he
came up with a name?
I came up with a name. It's Flying Lion.
Okay.
In Spanish, so...
All right, cool.
He's kind of a last-minute substitution. And
he's a luchador.
He's a luchador. He's an alien luchador who's lived in Mexico to learn the culture and the whole lucha style. And speaking of our friend Chris Adamits, the next character is Kung Fu Chris.
This card's great. Now, Warner drew this one, right?
Which is a Warner drawing of Chris Adamits as Kung Fu Chris.
That's great.
Chris has studied Kung Fu for several years, so I've always made fun of him and called him Kung Fu Chris.
Is he still in the juniors class with the little kids?
Probably. I'm sure he could kick my ass at this point, but...
That's great. Kung Fu Chris is great. So, that's great, that picture. That is really
It looks
funny.
just like him.
It does. That's great.
So he joins the last night's team to go.
Is Chris really 5'7", though?
That's his legitimate height, he says.
Is that legitimate height? I find that hard to believe.
He's 5'7", 155 pounds.
Yeah, I find that hard. I find all that hard. More like 95 pounds. 5'3" is more like it for Chris. Oh, that's great, though. That's great.
So his tag team partner, only in his rookie year, this person only agreed to be tag team partners with Kung Fu Chris for 1 year.
Okay.
And that's Marvelous Mike, because he doesn't want that little guy holding him back.
So Marvelous Mike is based off Mike Johnston, friend of the show.
Yes.
Who hates small wrestlers.
Exactly.
Gets Chris as his tag. That's freaking brilliant.
So Mike's gimmick is... It has
185.
It has his legitimate height and weight on there, but in his mind, he believes he's a super heavyweight. So his style is that of a super heavyweight.
So Mike can wrestle on 205 Live because he's 185.
So one of his moves is actually called 185 Live.
185 Live is a great move. That is hilarious. That's great.
When I asked him, who do you want me to base your card on? He goes, well, my Mount Rushmore of wrestling is Yokozuna, Scott Steiner, Diesel, and Ahmed Johnson.
What a horrible groove.
So, since Mike is from Beaver County, his move is the Beaver River Plunge, his finisher. Instead of the Pearl River Plunge for Ahmed Johnson, he has the Beaver River Plunge.
That's great.
And instead of the Steiner recliner, he does the Johnston Lazy Boy.
And where's the Blackhawk boot come from?
He lives in the Blackhawk School District.
There's no way Mike is 5'10" and Chris is 5'7". He's 3 inches smaller than
Mike. Mike, I think, is being honest about
Mike's
it.
being honest. Chris isn't. Yeah, we call bullshit on that one. That's great.
So I think he'll be fun to just write stories for because of the whole super
It's so great when people we know get a card to see it for the first time. It's absolutely hilarious how much it looks like him. It's like jumps off the card. I remember the first time we saw Justin, we were like, holy shit, does that look like him? Like that. And Ken's was freaking unbelievable. Like, couldn't look more like him if we tried.
Well, a side note on Warner, with the whole controversy of the African-American actress being cast as Ariel in Little Mermaid, his drawing he did of Terry Crews as He-Man has been making its rounds.
Which is a great picture.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg
did
posted that was him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Snoop Dogg posted it. It got over 500,000 likes.
That's great.
But they didn't tag Warner in it. I was so mad. Like, every time I see somebody post the meme, I go, hey, my buddy Warner did this, and I tag him in it. Just so he gets some kind of credit.
Yeah, he should for that. It's great.
Because it's everywhere. Like, you can't scroll through Facebook for more than 5 minutes without seeing that.
And I'll find it, yeah. If you keep complaining about the Little Mermaid, we're doing Black He-Man. Yeah, I see it all the time. So what we got next?
Next is a character that Ken and I co-created probably about 5 years ago. Raven Stark is part of the Birds of Prey team, where we basically pick a suburb of an NFL city that has a bird-themed mascot.
Okay.
And then we give them the name of the team. So she's Raven. She's from Eagle Harbor, Maryland, which is a suburb of Baltimore. And it has to have a bird-themed name. So there's Eagle Richards, Falcon Parker, Cardinal Maximoff, and now
Raven Stark.
Raven Stark is the latest addition to the team.
Nice.
Just a basic luchador.
She's cool. I like her. She looks like something from Lucha Underground.
Yeah, she's got another great Warner drawing.
Yeah.
He knocks it out of the park every time. I mean, the guy...
He's amazing.
He is. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit, for stuff he's able to do.
I agree. He's great.
He's got that classic style with, like a modern edge to it. Our next character is Bob N64, based on Bob Clemens.
I mean, again, so funny, so close. I love the old N64 controller and everything. The background stuff is greatness, like the Mario stuff, and I mean, that is great.
His finishing move is the button masher.
Is Bob a big N64 guy or something?
His license, he has a vanity plate, which is Bob N64 on his car.
It's even better.
That's great.
I love the back, too, the way it looks like video game stuff.
Yeah, I spent some time on that to try and make it different.
Yeah, you did that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, he's got moves like the button masher, like I said, is his finisher, which is just an uncontrolled flurry of punches and kicks.
Yeah.
He has the Mario jump, where he just jumps on somebody's head.
Okay.
DDR footwork, where there's a bunch of kicks to the shin. He's got all kinds of goofy, like, video game references.
I like right Russian leg sweep.
That's his drink of choice, is the White Russian.
That's great.
So that's why that's on there, and the Russian leg sweep is obviously a wrestling move.
Awesome.
So, and he also chokes people with his N64 controller cable.
That's great. No, that's good. That looks just like Bobby.
And then the last one from the base set is Unlucky, who is a leprechaun.
Okay, I saw this one the other day when we were advertising during SmackDown or Raw.
So the whole deal is there's a team of guys called Holiday Horror, which are basically like holiday icons with like an evil twist to them.
Like a bad Santa?
Like, I haven't done a bad Santa yet. I had a Christmas elf that's turned bad. Her name's Jacqueline Snow. There's a bad Easter bunny called Pete Cottontail. He's missing a limb.
I've seen him.
Somebody cut his arm off for a lucky rabbit's foot, so he's got a robotic arm.
Okay.
And then there's Halloween Hank, who's like the leader of the group. He's just the guy with a pumpkin head. This guy is a leprechaun who had too much to drink on St. Patrick's Day and woke up with an empty pot of gold. So his pot of gold is empty, so now he's pissed.
That's great.
So he's joined the Holiday Horror team.
His art's good too. I like it.
Yeah, he's a little down and out, down on his luck.
Nice.
And that's it for the base set. And this year I did a promotion that if you pre-ordered the set before Galacticon, I threw in 2 bonus cards.
Okay.
So I always try to have artwork in the tank to have something extra to do with it. So I had commissioned Warner to do artwork for Gretchen the Great.
All right, and this is our friend Gretchen Wyatt, and this is fantastic.
It looks just like her. She's a fan of Harry Potter, so we have her as a wizard.
And is that her cat?
And that's her cat, Izzy, that's actually on the card.
Yeah, that's great.
So her story is she's just somebody who's been trying to break into NDW since it started. Mm-hmm. So she went out and reinvented herself as Gretchen the Great so she could get into the Fed. And she's joined the Monster Squad team. Or Monster Mash team, I'm sorry, not Monster Squad.
You had Monster Squad on the brain.
I did have Monster Squad on the brain because we were talking about that not too long ago. But she's fun. She's got a lot of like Harry Potter spells as moves.
She's a backwards magic spell. Mm-hmm. Is that like Zatanna?
Like Zatanna. So I have to pull like different magic mythos into the card.
I like it. It's great.
Her finisher is Cross Arm Breaker, but spelled backwards on the card. Mm-hmm. And it's just a fun character.
Yeah, it's cool. Does she love it?
She does. She does. And she's long overdue for a card because she's been a big supporter of NDW from the beginning. So
she definitely deserved a card over me.
Definitely. So she finally got one. So I'm happy to release that as part of a supplemental pack that will be available later. But right now it's just a freebie if you pre-ordered the set.
Right.
And last but certainly not least is just Rob Craig.
Okay.
Rob doesn't get a gimmicky name because he's a gimmick himself.
Yeah, he is a gimmick.
So, his whole shtick is he's joined the Bjordy team, the Protectors of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Only for backup.
Good, because we don't want him full time.
His goal is to be the first person to collect all three of the titles at one time in NDW. He wants to be the Dimensional Champion, Tag Team Champion with either Jib's Warrior, his son, or Captain Adam Space Pirate. It's the Treasure Hunters.
Okay.
And also the Cornerstone Champion. So he wants all three of the male titles within NDW. He's got some moves based on action figure collecting, like the Funko Pop-Up Power Bomb. And the Let 'Em Breathe Buster.
Unbox Senton.
Mm-hmm. So he's got some like collecting culture references on there. And
again, the drawing is fantastic.
His is one of the more spot-on likenesses, I think, because I just had him in an NDW shirt instead of a Bullet Club shirt that he was wearing.
Yeah. That's great.
So I thought about it after the fact. I wanted to have Warner put Jib's Warrior on his shirt, like put the card art from that, but then I thought of it too late. He had already finished it.
No, he looks great.
But yeah, that'll be releasing officially at Galacticon. I sent out some pre-orders this week just because I didn't want to get overwhelmed with them.
Yeah.
If you want to pre-order, they're on the website, which we'll link below, I suppose.
Yeah, but you can give it to.
It's brockstercomics.com/NDW cards.
There you go.
And if you look for it on Facebook and Twitter, it's NDW cards, all one word.
All right.
So check it out. It's fun.
We post NDW stuff on here too. So we'll sure Brock will give us an update from Galacticon next week on our audio show.
Mm-hmm. Should be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for giving me the chance to show these guys off on the air.
And I think we should show little spotlights on more that come out in the future too, because they're a good time to look at and they're fun. Mm-hmm. You know, it's good. All right. Say goodnight, Justin.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Thanks, Brock, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy.
Have fun at Galacticon.
Thank you.
All right. Later, everyone.